Yo, what is going on, you fingerless feebass? I did another 25 games over on the stream. This time around, it was with Luke Metal, twitch.tv/AzulGG. Did Luke Metal, and this is the list I came to. Decided I don't want the coatings. I don't want the crushing hammers. The only thing that I didn't really try out and kind of undecided on would be Pokegears versus the tag call build. Currently been using the tag call build. I do like more outs to my Pokemon in general. We can't find the Zacian or the Zamazenta with tag calls, but if we tag call for the Luke Metal, then we can use our quick balls for the Zacian or the Zamazenta. So that is one reason I definitely like tag calls, but I could definitely see the Pokegear build overall being a little bit smoother, a little bit better. So didn't end up giving it a shot, but this is where I ended after those 25 games. Like I said, no coatings. Coatings were in there initially. I never put the crushing hammers in, and I never felt like I would have wanted them either, because the deck already felt like I had enough awkward hands where if I was cutting consistency to add more cards that basically weren't draw supporters, it could only get that much more awkward. So yeah, definitely don't want to consider adding those. The only thing that might stand out here that you guys are not quite sure what it's in here for, because the rest of it is basically Luke Metal, is that Stealthy Hood. Added the Stealthy Hood for the Poison Eternatus matchup, so that way the Slowbro can't poison my Zamazenta, and it makes it that much harder for them to get through my Zamazenta. So I added the Stealthy Hood in here for that. That's basically it. It can also be utilized to like stop Fiona and stuff, but mostly just in here for the Poison Eternatus matchup. It doesn't really do much else besides that, but it is good for that. And yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Yeah, I've been doing these 25 game deck streams recently. I've already done Temple's Art and Hammer Pikarom. Did Luke Metal most recently. I'm gonna be doing more, so make sure you guys go over and check them out on the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/AzulGG. First link in the description. Give it a click, give it a follow. Let's get into some games. Okay, get into our first one. I'm gonna go first. I mean, there's a couple matchups where like going second would be good. Without the coding energies, there's definitely less matchups where we want to go second though. With coding energy, like going second against Centiskorch, stuff like that is really good. But if we're only going to play against, you know, Pikarom is like the other good matchup. Usually up against ADP, going first is fine because they usually don't pull off the turn 1 GX attack. It can happen. And it looks like that is what we're up against here, is the ADP station. But it probably won't happen. We'll see, though. You never know. We're hoping it does not happen. Awesome mulligans. Some more dolls. Would love a Zacian. But gonna have to settle for no Zacian. I'm actually gonna hold the goggles here because if I get a Zacian on the next turn, I'd rather have the goggles on the Zacian. Goggles on Luke Metal doesn't do a whole ton in this matchup. It's not terrible to have on it, but it doesn't do that much. It's just gonna be a draw. They forgot to Intrepid Sword there. And there's the conceit. I guess they just don't want to play against Luke Metal, and we get a dub here in the first game. Okay, here we go again. Hopefully our opponent doesn't concede after the first turn this time around. Let me get a little bit more action. It was probably a combination of it was probably just because they forgot to Intrepid Sword, to be honest. Maybe they also don't like playing against Luke Metal. I guess that could also be part of it. Get the Zacian start, which is fine. I feel like Luke Metal feels a little bit better because there's so many more things that can one-hit KO a Zacian. Not much can one-hit KO a Luke Metal. Looks like we are up against a ADP. There's a Rotom Phone though, so I'm not for sure, but I have seen Rotom Phone ADP before, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is Rotom Phone ADP. We'll find out. So they got that, and they opened the Mawile, so we don't have to worry about Mawile anymore. Although I guess another thing that I have seen before is 2 Mawile in ADP, so I guess we still might have to worry about Mawile, a second Mawile. Looks like they had a pretty rough start there. I almost don't want to Marnie them. Instead, just go with Caitlyn and Cynthia, which I think I am going to do here. And I should have Caitlyn and Cynthia at first, actually, so that was a mistake on my part. Quick Ball, Wayne Energy. We'll go ahead and grab the Luke Metal here and Saucer to it because, I mean, if they just Marnie us and we lose all that stuff, we want to set up for the turn 2 GX attack, basically. We want to be able to go Full Metal Wall if they get off their turn 2 GX attack, which they definitely could. Even though they got this attached to the Mawile off the start, which isn't great, nothing is stopping them from just, you know, going ADP, retreat to ADP, E-switch, attach water, GX attack, right? So definitely possible that they get the GX attack off the turn, and we want to immediately respond with that Full Metal Wall. They go attach again to the Mawile here. Are they going to attack us with the Wily Bite? They could actually also, if they went with the Big Eater GX, it would get 4 supporters that are in my hand. There's another phone, but I have to imagine Intrepid Sword is going to be the way they go over Wily Bite. That is if they're not playing anything else this turn. Yeah, it's going to be the Intrepid Sword. Definitely a mistake, I think, to have attached to the active there as well. Now I'm just like curious as to how I even want to play this situation. There's another research top deck. Goodness. I'll just attach the Luke Metal for the turn right now. For the morning. I don't want to run out of draw supporters. I mean, they haven't been drawing that well, but I think it's fair to assume that they maybe have drawn something off that hand there. All right, Intrepid. Whiff on the... I could have attached active, but then if I attach active, maybe if they're playing phones, they're not playing Crushing Hammer. The thing is, if I attach active and they get a Crushing Hammer heads on my Luke Metal off the bench, then I need a Metal Saucer. I'm still assuming they're playing ADP, of course, in this scenario. But I guess at this point, you know, it's very possible that they're not. Okay, there's the Cherish Ball. I'm gonna go ahead and assume still that they're probably playing ADP. But now they have a lot of energy in play, which is kind of scary. There's the ADP. They haven't GX attacked yet, but yeah, they have a lot of energy in play, which is scary. Because that's what we try and do is, like, you know, they GX attack, we GX attack, and then they don't get the Ultimate Ray. There's going to be a Wily Bite for 10. Look out. That is it. That's their whole turn. Okay, I'm going to give up the Samacenta here. Get a fresh station. I think I'm just going to attach active and then Intrepid. There's one hits. Hit 2, so it would have been nice to have Intrepid with a new station, but I don't want to put another station in play until it can have a Metal Goggles. That's what I'm trying to avoid here, is I don't just want a bunch of stations in play, and then my opponent can kind of pick them off after they GX attack. If they GX attack, the Wily Bite was a little bit curious there, because it doesn't really do a whole lot for them, kind of moving their board state forward. They could Wily Biting again. I mean, that 2 10s would actually make a difference. They had just 10 damage. Even if they hit with Brave Blade right now this turn, they would do 200. We'd live with 10 HP. Even if they GX attack and then hit us, if we GX attack, I'm pretty sure they're still whiffing the knockout there. Yeah, we'd effectively have 270. So 10 more damage makes a difference. Here comes an E-Switch. See where this is going. The other station. Do they finally find themselves? No draw supporter. So another Intrepid Sword coming in. Top deck boss would be great here for us. Just KO this station, take those 2 energy out of play. If not, Brave Blade active is also just fine. Now I'm going to bench the station, though, and attach to it. And if the other Caitlyn Cynthia is in the deck, I don't want to shuffle their hand. So, yeah, I don't want to change their hand. I want to give them +1 card if I can avoid it, but still kind of progress my board state. There's the Goggles for the station as well. And we're just going to go Brave Blade, get this knockout on the Mawile. Now we have a boss, so we can boss. We do play Tool Scrapper as well, so we can one-hit KO this station at some point. And actually... we don't even have to get the Scrapper on the turn we hit it. We just need to get the Scrapper eventually, and that'll be fine. We'll probably still GX attack this ADP here. We'll use Mal and Lana. Might even discard a couple cards to kind of thin them out of the deck. Like, we get rid of the Tag Call, maybe another Mal and Lana, because the healing from Mal and Lana this matchup is basically only relevant when they Ultimate Ray into our Luke Metal, which shouldn't be happening if we do get the GX attack off. So, there we go. They finally find themselves something decent, which is that Crobat, and find themselves some cards. So... they finally see some draw support. We've had a ton, but overall it's been a little bit slow for us on our end. I didn't want to like overcommit to my Zation and just have it get knocked out, so we didn't do that early. Maybe it could have been a little bit more aggressive. They actually play Judge Whistle in, so it's a Rotom Phone Judge Whistle. This might be, they might not play draw supporters. What if it's just like Crobat Dedenne? But it would be weird to play a Rangaroo, because like that would take up a spot that could be a Crobat or a Dedenne. So I would assume you would want to, I don't know. Yeah, well, here comes the GX attack. Got a Metal Saucer, so we're going to Saucer here. Attach. And then Mal and Lana. Get rid of these 2, I think. Gonna GX attack. I could have gone Boss KO this station, but then this station would be able to... I just want to... it would be able to KO my station. So I'd lose the station, and then they could go like switch, KO this station, and I kind of just lose the game potentially. I could find my Tool Scrapper, but I kind of want to give myself as much time as possible to find my Tool Scrapper. So it feels a little bit better to play it out this way. And now they probably do play a Tool Scrapper, but then you find that Tool Scrapper and a boss to bring this in the active, and an energy. They don't have an energy and a switch card to move the ADP, so they need a lot. They need a lot is what I'm trying to say here. So it's a little bit safer. It feels a little bit safer this way for sure. Do the GX attack and then go for the knockout. Because yeah, I could have gone boss KO this, and then we get knocked out by this one. And then if we get the Tool Scrapper, we do just win the game. We play only one Tool Scrapper. Don't have a lot of draw power in the Luke Metal edition. It's just that draw supporter turn to turn. That's about it. besides that, there's not a whole ton of draw support to work with. So, and there's the research. So they're not using a boss this turn, which is great. Their bench is full, so Fion can't happen. They're just going to go ahead and punch our active. We're going to punch this Zacian back, and then probably go digging, trying to find ourselves that tool scrapper. Try and dig as much as possible, as fast as possible. I don't even know if it's in the deck. That's another thing. It could just be prized. But we are in a position where we're kind of ahead of our opponent. So if they don't play tool scrapper or can't find it, we do just kind of win. We'll win that trade-off there pretty easily, I think. I'm going to go ahead and give up this Zacian out of hand. Grab this. Tool scrapper is prized. Okay. I think really would have changed anything I would have done here. Back-to-back boss was super unlikely on my side. So we're just going to Brave Blade. We will probably have to boss at some point. And if for some reason they attack with like a different Zacian this turn, which they definitely could, we could just knock that out. Knock that Zacian out, draw 2 prize cards, and if it is the Tool Scrapper, then we Tool Scrap this big charm, and we can just kind of win that way. We'll see what they go with here. They have a boss on my Luke Metal. So this is where it gets kind of scary, because they did have that big charm. Big charm's super good in ADP Zacian against Luke Metal Zacian. They're going to attack with this one, which means the Tool Scrapper play isn't an option unless I top deck boss. If I top deck boss, I can boss KO this one to do Tool Scrapper. Because I guess the one fear at this point would be that they get another big charm for another Zacian, and then I can't get through or around that. A little bit for them to have. So yeah, now it comes down to, does my opponent play Tool Scrapper, or more big charm? Because even just another big charm would still be pretty scary. They do play research. We found that out last turn. I was like, at first I was like, I mean, Judge Whistle plus Rotom Phone. What if they just don't play that? All right, research. On some metal saucers. I don't mind using them to get them out of the deck in case my opponent plays Reset Stamp. And I'm gonna go ahead and switch into this one as well. Just kind of burn everything here. Draw 2 prize cards. We have the boss in hand, but they can still stamp us. And especially with the Rotom Phones, I feel like it's a little bit more likely that they maybe play something like the Reset Stamp and the Oranguru so they can protect it from discarding it. All right, here we go. Guru to the active. We have the boss, but Marnie can happen. Stamp can happen. We did not get the Tool Scrapper, so they get a big charm monetization as well. They could also even just like send up the ADP for a turn to tank while they dig deeper potentially for the Tool Scrapper if they play Tool Scrapper. That's another thing. They might not play it. I guess Leon's another thing, but I haven't seen Leon in ADPization for a while. It was around quite a bit when ADPization was when it first came out. There's the Dead Exchange. They're kind of playing like they have Tool Scrapper, or I guess maybe digging for big charm. That would also be. They do play the Leon, and we're losing this one. Leon a little bit too much for us to handle in this one. It was close still. I maybe could have played the early game a little bit differently, which is kind of boss chasing 2 prize Pokemon instead of even doing the GX attack. But go down this route, doesn't work out, and we take an L here to the ADPZ with Leon. Okay, here we go again. Zacian start and draw supporter. So that's basically, I mean, that's all we really need. We did mulligan 3 times apparently, which is not good. We're up against the Mad Party. Okay, so this matchup is very close. A turn 1 attack would actually be pretty nice here on the Bunnelby. So we could just research first and not attach. It is a lot of energy to lose. We need very little energy in this matchup, and Luke Metal can be a very good attacker in this matchup because it is that 50 damage, so it'll get through the Bunnelbys. It does struggle a little bit to KO the Poltergeists, of course, but we can deal with those with like the Heavy Impact or a Brave Blade or something. Especially now that they commit an energy here, I really want to go that route. There goes a lot of their Gust effects. So hiding behind dolls is going to be a very viable play this game. I'm sure they play the Pal Pad that everyone's been playing as of late in the Mad Party deck. So I'm sure that's in there. I would bet that's in there. Top deck is another Zacian. I'm going to touch a Giles to this bench one here. I don't think I'm going to be able to 1K on my active one. I'm going to go ahead. That's a lot of energy to lose. Yeah. Almost got to play, whiffed the switch card, but we were really close. We were really close. All right. I'm going to go with Quick Ball away, Stealthy Hood. Grab a Zamazenta. Ball away, Zamazenta. And we ideally want to use 2 Luke Metals in this matchup. Because it just has more HP, but it's a little bit hard to set them up because they take that 4 energy as well. Metal Saucer to the Luke Metal, I think. I doubt they play any hand disruption, so I maybe could have sat on the hand. Like, once again, I don't expect this thing to get knocked out, but could. But with our opponent being down so many Gust effects, I think we should be able to pull off the double Luke Metal play. And I do want a GX attack. I definitely want a GX attack. So we're probably going to go like Malamana, heal this and then Full Metal Wall, and then kind of go from there. Setting up the Luke Metals can be a little bit tough, but with that Steel Fist attack, you do get energy out of the deck and accelerate it into play, so that can be helpful. So we can go through this Bumblebee, and then accelerate the energy, go for the heavy impact on the next turn to probably deal with a Poltergeist. Actually, here comes a great catcher from my opponent, so that's super annoying. We do have the Malolana to heal it. But in this situation, oh man, that is actually just really rough. That's a really good use of the great catcher from my opponent there. It depends how hard they hit us, I guess, because we could still just go with the Full Metal Wall. And then maybe not get knocked down next turn. Our best top deck here would probably be a Lily's Pokédoll, because we can Lily's Pokédoll heal any damage that they deal. Or almost all the damage they deal. They have only 4 in there right now, so only dealing 80. And if we GX attack, they might just not be able to 2-hit KO us. And then we can kind of go from there with the Steel Fist and everything. I think it'd probably be the game plan. We'll have to really wait and see see how much damage they hit for here. But yeah, if we top deck a Pokédoll, that's perfect. We mount Lana, probably get rid of the station and the Marnie, go to the doll, put the doll under, attach, GX attack, and then go into the Steel Fist from there. Bench the other Luke Metal on the next turn, and then research. But yeah, like I said, it's gonna come down to, or if it's their top deck a doll, how hard are they hitting us? But I don't feel like I have a great out. I guess if I top deck a Metal Saucer, I could mount on to the other Luke Metal as well. That would work. So Metal Saucer or doll would work great here. Yeah, that would work great. Either of those would work great. 120 now, so we'd be healing all the damage that they deal with the Mad Party theoretically if we top deck either of those. Let's just see if we can get that that top deck. That's gonna be the key here. Comes the party for the 120, and it's a research. So not quite what we're looking for. Gonna bench the other Luke Metal, attach active, and then just play the Marnie. And just gonna have to go with that Full Metal Wall. There's a doll. And our hand is not great. Not a lot of options in this hand. Full Metal Wall. And I'm not going to use the Metal Saucer yet because I don't quite know where I want it. It's possible they attack with a Poltergeist this turn, and I'd want to respond with a Zacian with Metal Saucer plus attach. But it's also possible we maybe just switch to the doll and Intrepid Sword and just kind of leave this thing on the bench for now. It all kind of depends on what my opponent has going on. Is that 2 Exile down? That is 2 Exile. 2 Exile, 2 Boss, 2 Great Catcher. They could play 3 Boss. Nothing's stopping them from playing 3 Boss. So they definitely could have 3 Boss. But usually you see the 2. 2 Exile. It's not too uncommon. I still expect the I still very much expect a Pal Pad from them, so they will have access to some Gust effects unless they can't find it until it's too late or it's prized. Something like that is also a possibility, but I definitely expect them to play it. So we want to play as if they will have access to potentially 2 more bosses to work with, for sure. And they could also whiff the Twin Energy this turn. They only have 3 left, and if there's a 1 or 2 prize, they might just not be able to put it together this turn, which would be great for us. Gives us a turn to work with. We probably would go with an Intrepid Sword for the turn. We really want to find Mallow and Lana's to start healing some of this damage that our opponent's going to be putting out. We want to attack with Zacian. I think Zacian's the first thing we want to attack with, and then we want to go into Luke Metal. We do need a Goggles for this Zacian, though. I maybe should have never benched the second Zacian. That's also something I possibly could have tried to play around. It looks like they did whiff. Okay, so I'm going to switch into the doll. I don't want to whiff attachment for turn. But I could hit 2 off Intrepid theoretically here. It's not likely, though. I think I'm going to go like this, and then Metal Saucer to this one. Intrepid. Hit none here. And actually, we didn't hit very much of anything. The Goggles is nice for this guy, of course. But besides that, not a whole ton going on. Maybe our opponent will have another slow turn. There's that Pal Pad I was talking about. So boss's orders back on the menu. So we could probably play as if that's probably the last of their Gust effects. 2 Great Catcher gone. 2 Boss gone. Now the Pal Pad used. Can pretty safely play, I think, that they don't have any other Gust effects left. So dolls will be very effective coming up here on the next turn. I definitely should have attached it. I could have held on to, but it looks like they're having a slow go of it right now. I almost want to protect this a little bit more than this, because I just need this thing to not be able to be boss knocked out like at all ever. I almost want to force them to use that first boss and maybe even the second boss before they actually are able to even do anything. I do want a Mallow and Lana, so I could go switch Mallow and Lana back to the doll, which I think I am going to do. Once again, we're just trying to make sure they can't get prize cards. We know they have 2 Gust effects left. I want them to go through my dolls if they want to take prize cards. Intrepid, getting energy. Got that Caitlyn and Cynthia. and another Goggles, which is great. So we have 1 Goggles left. I don't want him to take easy knockouts on the stations, and that's just going to be the conceit. It looks like they're done with that. I'm going to double for the Mad Party. That's going to do it for the games with this Luke Metal build. Like I said, I put 25 games into it in a row. So that's what I've kind of come to. And this is kind of very similar to the other builds of Luke Metal that I played in the past. But I've been doing that 25 game thing on the stream to kind of, you know, give decks another chance, or just kind of play a decent amount of games with the deck to get a better feeling of them maybe. And we're out with Luke Metal. See you guys tomorrow.